Okay, back with another video for my SRT fans, brothers in SRT. Of course, you can see here this is the WK1 version of the SRT Jeep. This one is a 2008. Uh, WK1 is 2006 through 2010. 2008, they updated the interior, but this is not what the video is about. It's about the components and sticking with the Mopar replacement parts. I had a situation with this where I had to replace the water pump, and the water pump, I put a Napa Auto Parts. Well, I took it to the shop, had Napa the body shop, the mechanic put a Napa Auto Parts, get my words right here, water pump on the car, and it immediately leaked right through the weep hole. So of course I had to get another one put on, take it back, and have them replace it. And drove it for, I don't know, a couple months, and right out of the weep hole started leaking again. So I took it back again, and they replaced it with another Napa water pump. And of course, it began to leak. So I started to think, okay, well, there's something else wrong with the car that's causing, too much pressure buildup or something that's causing this to leak. So anyway, we talked to Jeep, and Chrysler Jeep said, you ought to stick with the Mopar part. So I went ahead, and I don't know if you can see in there, but that's a new water pump in there. Genuine Mopar part. Had that put on about 2 months ago, and it is not leaking, has not leaked once. So what's the conclusion that I can draw from that? Well, using the non-genuine Mopar parts is not the way to go when you're dealing with these motors. You want to replace them with the proper components. That's the lesson I've taken from it, and that's the way I'm going to do it from now on. Now, this is my second Jeep. I got this one about 6 years ago. The first one was a 2007. I had that for I don't know, 7, 8 years or something prior to owning this one. And I had that problem with that Jeep too. I kept replacing the water pump because it kept failing, and I couldn't figure out why. Now, I didn't go with the Mopar part at that time. I ended up selling that Jeep. And I also had a problem with the alternator. I bought a non-genuine Mopar part from Napa for the alternator, and it literally wouldn't fit unless you grinded the face of, where the bolt goes through. And I had that done, and of course it worked, but that was, trouble. You had to, work on the damn thing in order to make it fit. So I did look at the Mopar alternator, the genuine Mopar part, and it doesn't have that issue. It goes right, slips right over, push the bolt right through, and no problem at all. So again, for me, as far as replacement parts on these vehicles, it's genuine Mopar parts. Don't cheat yourself buying something cheap, for these for replacement parts for these motors. You want to stick with what's now, I'm not talking about upgrading. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just repairs, replacing a part that has failed. You want to stick with the genuine Mopar part. So, lesson that I've learned. This doesn't have much modification to it. You see I have the AFE power cold air system on here. And if you watched any previous videos that I did about this Jeep here, I put a Borla XS Pro muffler on here, and I wonder if I can show you how that setup is, because I did a video where I showed the MagnaFlows. I replaced MagnaFlow resonators where the muffler goes. And although I did definitely notice increased torque and increased horsepower, the sound of it like really sucked. I don't think you should put resonators in that area because it had this really drony sound that I couldn't bear. And so I went with the Borla. So I'm gonna go see if I can turn this upside down, tilt it, and go underneath. And we'll see if I can show you how that is installed. Now, if it doesn't come out right, it's because I can't figure out the angle, okay? So we're getting ready to go under here. We crank this up a little bit so I have plenty of... I know the camera's shaking and all that. It's because I'm cranking the handle here. I'm gonna go under. I don't know if you're able to see the setup. I guess I'll be able to see later when I look at it. Not quite sure even where it is. All right, well, I hope that came out right. I'll see it, you know, and if it's not what I want to see, I won't even put this video up. But yeah, anyway, another thing is if you have a WK1 SRT8 Jeep, how often is it that you see another one? I mean, I do drive this every day. I drive it to work. It's a daily driver. I've driven it every day since I had it. And I rarely ever see another WK1 SRT. I just never see them. I see tons of Chargers, Challengers, and the like, but I never see these. And I wonder why. Because they're rare. That's why. So if you got one, you got yourself a rare item. And this is probably going to be something that is going to have some value in years to come. They're very attractive cars, very durable. Anyone who owns one knows it. And probably pretty glad that they, you know, made that purchase. I mean, I'm happy with it. I've, you know, enjoy the car. They're very, very fast. I mean, not the fastest thing on the planet, of course. And there's lots of vehicles that are faster than it. But for a Jeep, this thing got all kind of balls, man, for real. So yeah, they're great vehicles. And I might do a few other mods to it. Not much, nothing serious. I thought once about putting a supercharger on here, but then I thought, you know, just keep the damn thing stock. You know, I like stock vehicles. You know, I'm not going to try to make this the fastest thing in the world, or to make it compete against, you know, things of, you know, have greater horsepower that are faster. This is built to be what it is. And if there's another vehicle faster than it, then it's, you know, it's in a different class. This is just a really fast Jeep. You know, so I'm just going to keep it stock, I suppose. And I have 103,000 miles on here. I purchased this at, I believe it was 71 when I got it. And I have 103 on it now. And I'm going to drive it until it's got 200 on it. I don't plan on getting rid of this one. I mean, I don't plan on it, but you never know what happens. So, yeah, anyway, I probably went on babbling about things when I basically just wanted to talk about the genuine Mopar parts. If you have one of these, you might want to just stick with the genuine parts if you need to replace something. And probably be happier that you did so. All right, SRT guys, thanks for watching.